Hey, I'm Bill, this is Vital Bike Chains, and I wanted to review with you chips. Not that cool motorcycle cop show from the 80s, rather wax chips from Silca for your bike chain. So Silca brought these on the market mid 2024. Not exactly a new idea to have different waxes for a different goal in mind, but they did come up with something a little bit unique. So you want to go fast. Maybe speed chip is that speed chip? Yeah. Maybe speed chip is for you. All you have to do is combine this with the secret chain blend formula. Oh, so what's the catch? Well, for one, it costs money, yes. These chips retail for 29 bucks. You're gonna mix that with this Silca blend, which a 500 gram bag retails for around $40. And you really don't even need a full bag. You really just need enough to get you started. Maybe that's 250 grams or like a half a bag. And so if we take that half a bag and a chip, do the math, really you're kind of looking at about $1.50 per chain wax. So really that's not all that bad. I mean, any lube you use is not exactly free. So besides the cost of the chip, there's a second catch to this speed chip. And that is, the wax does not have a very long life on your chain. Now, if you already have a pot of wax going with this in it, taking your chain off and re-waxing it, really no big deal. But what if you go to some long event or some long-term event where you're not going to have, or a trip where you're not going to have access to re-dip your chain whenever you want? So if you're concerned about the lifespan of the wax on your chain, maybe this one is not for you. Well, the good news is Silca thought of that. And they have the, the inverse, the endurance chip. All right, cool. So we got that. So we have the long lifespan, but what are we giving up? Again, it's cost. These also cost around $29. Mix it with this, and you're looking at $1.25 or so per chain dip. The other thing it's going to cost you is you. You'll need to give your bike more energy to drive that train. About a watt more compared to the base wax. Not bad. 1 watt. Here's another great benefit to the endurance chip. There's a chain lube punishing torture chamber down in Australia. They put it through the rigors and found that wax blended with this chip held up very well in wet conditions. And on to the third chip. Yes, a third chip. But it's not a performance chip. Rather, it's a prep chip for your chain. Adding one of these to some of this is all you need to degrease your chain. Sounds too good to be true? Well, yeah, it does have a price. This 6-pack of chips is $24. But here's the other thing. If you're doing a whole bunch of chains, this might not be for you. Eventually, your pot of wax won't have the bandwidth to convert your greasy chain. Silca says that once you hit that 6th chip, you'll need a new pot of wax. So something is obviously changing in your wax pot as you add these chips. Does that suddenly happen when you put in the 6th chip? Or maybe it happens after the 1st chip, or 2nd chip, or the 4th chip. But something happens, maybe. But what's another good option? How about a stripper? Hey, I didn't name the product. What does a stripper cost? I'll say a fair amount. But you can filter this stripper and get pretty good life out of the bottle. And you're not adding a degreaser to your wax pot like you are with the strip chip. Definitely something to consider. Can these chips work with waxes other than Silca? Maybe, probably. Now, I don't want you to think this is all about Silca, well, even though it kind of is so far. But there are other products on the market, pre-blended, if you want an endurance kind of wax, a speedy kind of wax. There's even a powder by Molten that you sprinkle onto your chain, like little fairy dust to make your chain go faster. Thanks for hanging out with me in the shop today. Hopefully you got some insights on some products that you may want to try. Happy riding, and see you next time.